All right, good evening. It is January 12th, and it is such a wonderful day. Man, how about yesterday? There was some money made. And I'm not talking a little bit, I'm talking game changing, right? Follow me. Now, do your own research, but follow me, use some of my ideas, maybe put a little bit of twist on things, and who knows? Maybe you'll make a lot of money like I did last night. Man, what a good day. It would have been a lot better if Tesla at least just stayed where it was. It would have been a lot better if. Now, I'm not saying Tesla because I invest a lot in Tesla. I actually don't, but I do invest with ARK, ARK K, and ARK Q. Two really good ones. So RK, I believe that's the innovations one that deals with like Tesla, Roku, Spy, and companies like that. RQ is like Tesla and Baidu's actually been doing really, really well as of late. So definitely some money that can be had. So it would have been a lot better yesterday, the amount that I actually made compared to what I could, or was a little bit masked because of Tesla, and it was also masked because of Bitcoin. Now, I don't have anything in Bitcoin, so how is it masked in Bitcoin? Because of Riot. Riot blockchain, I've got a fair amount in as well. As Bitcoin goes up, so does Riot. As Bitcoin goes down, so does Riot. Bitcoin went down quite a bit. Over 5%, which for them is like, I don't know, I think they went down like $7,000 or something like that per share. So significant drop in Bitcoin yesterday led to drops in Riot as well. So a lot of my call options that I had made didn't do so well. But I fully expect those to come back up, especially Tesla. Tesla will come back up. Bitcoin, I'm sure, will come back up because I don't think the bubble is going to break quite yet. So I'm not too worried about it. I have some out to the end of this week and then some out to the 22nd. So shouldn't be that big of a deal. But man, I played it smart and I played it safe with my stuff with NEO, right? Whether it was my shares of NEO or my options with NEO, I played it safe. And man, if you watch my previous videos and you're friends with me on Facebook, you would have seen I said on January 1st, 66.96 with a 10% increase after NEO Day. And you look at what happened, 66.99 and a 10.2% rise in NEO at its peak. It's the closest prediction I've ever made. And I followed it. I followed it exactly how I thought it would happen. And I sold when I should have, and I bought back in when I should have. And in my previous video, I also talked about how I fully expected there to be some sort of consolidation after it went up. And sure as all hell there was, and it was the same day. And I still stick to what I said before. Although right after this consolidation, although it went down a little bit, somewhere around I think $62 or so, I fully expect to see it go again, break all-time highs, possibly even today, and ultimately by the end of the week in the high 60s, going into next week. Probably some more consolidation, but eventually getting into the low 70s, and by the end of the month. Maybe into the early next month, early February, so late January, early February, being into that mid 70s to even high 70s range. So, so we'll follow it, we'll watch it, but most importantly, I didn't take the chance, and the call options that I had that ended on the 15th, I didn't let them go all the way out to the 15th. I cashed in when it hit about 66.96. And I walked away with some really, really solid profits. What else did I do? I also sold all my shares right about the right around that 66, 96 again, and then I just turned around, bought back in, still with 1,000 shares, and just kept the profit. So sitting pretty. I couldn't ask for anything more. Well, I guess I could have. Like I said, if Tesla and would have stayed up, that would have caused my ARK investments to also stay up. Because those do end on the 15th, so I'm running out of time on those. Ultimately, they're still up. I just dropped from like 200% to 100% gains. So that would have been nice. Although I don't have all that much. I think, in fact, for Tesla, I have only one vertical spread option with them. So at most, I think it's still up like $800 right now. It was up almost 2,000 and it's since dropped. So we'll see where that ends up on the 15th. Probably just going to keep that all the way to the very end. And then with ARK, I think I only have three lots with ARK K. So again, hopefully Tesla comes back up. Riot, I have a little bit more. I'm pretty sure I have 5 call options that end. Oof, maybe it's even more now that I think about it. It might be 10. Yeah, it's 10. I got 2 5s. I got 5 lots ending on the 15th at a strike price of 14.5, and then I got 5 lots ending or with a strike price at 19, also ending on the 15th. So I actually got into it again. The one that I got into with the 14.5 strike price, I got into quite a while ago. So made some pretty good money with that one. That's definitely up, but it just sucks in the last week that it's about ready to close that the price drastically drops. And it didn't just drop a little bit. Riot went down, I think like 20%, 20 to 25%. So significant. But I still got 4 or 5 more days left, and it can probably come back up. We'll see. I'll probably do an analysis on Riot, maybe tomorrow. But today I'm planning on doing 2 different ones. Other companies that I'm looking at, and along the same lines that you hear with ARK, with Catherine Wood, is BNGO. I always want to say BINGO, but it's BNGO, Bionanogenomics. And then another one that ties very similar to that is NNDM, and that is Nanodynamics or something like that. So NNDM, and take a look at that one as well. So these are 2 that I've invested with before, and I continue to invest with. I actually just recently bought shares of them, and I specifically did it for one reason. I bought 100 shares of each of them, just for the capability to start doing things instead of just buying calls. I want to be able to start selling puts, covered puts, right? I have the 100 shares to do it with, and just an easy way to do it. And selling puts, man, what an easy way to make money. It feels like I'm cheating sometimes, with just a little bit of knowledge of where the resistance lines are and where the support lines are and where the next one is. It doesn't take a genius to be able to see some of these trend lines, and almost every stock doesn't, when it breaks through a line of support in the negative direction, it's just dropping to the next line of support. It typically doesn't go past that. I would say I don't know what the percentage is, but it's significant. Like 95% of the time, it's just going to go to that next line of support, and it doesn't drop below that, right? So if I pick a strike price of something slightly below that, and I sell a put, somebody's going to give me money. Somebody's just going to give me money, and I would say 95% of the time, I just walk away with that money. Like, that's it. Somebody just gives me, here you go, have some money. And sometimes it's significant, Now, per lot, I'm not making much, $1 premium, that's $100. Right? But I do it for 10 lots. When you do it for 10 lots, I'm getting $1,000. I'm getting $1,000. That's it. Somebody's just giving me $1,000. Like, there's nothing more. If you're waiting for the punchline or waiting for the but, there is none. Somebody's giving me $1,000. That's it. Now, could the price drop? Yes. Could I have to buy 100 shares or 1,000 shares of a company at a little bit higher of a price than what it currently is? Yes. But here's the thing. I'm selling puts, and I'm picking a price that's like 50 cents below the lowest line of support. I'm making minimal premium, but I'm doing it times 10, right? I might make $100 times 10 is $1,000. Worst case scenario, I keep that $1,000 and I have to buy 100 share or 1,000 shares of a company that I want anyway. I want it anyway because it's a good company, whether it's PLTR or NEO or whatever the case may be. Hell, I've done it with sundial growers. I think I'm up to like 5,000 freaking shares of that because sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes I end up needing to buy a whole bunch of shares, but I'm buying 100 shares at 50 cents a pop. Boom, here at $50, right? But I'm taking shares, like I'm buying shares. Or if I'm not buying those shares, somebody's just giving me money. Now I will tell you that's not a lot of money, right? So for each lot of sundial growers, when you sell a put like that, you're probably only making $7. You do that times 10, you're only making $70. But it's $70 more than you had before. And out of how many times I've done that across all the different companies that I've done that for, I can count on one hand how many times I've actually had to buy 100 shares of a company. And when it comes down to it, if you take in consideration the fact that somebody gave me the premium and I'm buying 100 shares of a certain, you're not losing out on that much money, right? So if you just make sure that if you're going to sell puts, you do it with a company that you wouldn't mind having 100 or 1,000 or 500 shares of, or whatever the case may be, depending on how many lots you do, as long as you pick a company that you are comfortable with and you wouldn't mind having shares of, it's a win-win situation, right? Somebody's either going to give you money or somebody's going to give you money and you buy 100 shares of a company that you want. Count me in. And then watch the share price go up. Think I haven't done that with NEO? You're god dang right. I have done it a lot with NEO. All right. Every Thursday. Every Thursday I sell a put. It's a sell for 100, even if it's just 100 shares. One lot. And I pick a strike price that's low enough that I know that NEO is not going to hit. Somebody gives me $50, $100, right? If I get crazy, I might do it for 10 lots if I feel that comfortable that the price is going to just keep going up and then I'll never have to worry about it coming down. I'll do 10 lots, right? Yeah, it's win-win. Win-win. Easy way to make money. Now, you have to make sure that you have enough money to cover at least 100 100 shares per lot. All right, so if you want to sell a put for NEO right now, and you don't have, or you want to sell a put, you're looking at $6,200. Right, you have to have at least $6,200. Now somebody's going to give you money for that, so that kind of takes away from a little bit of the cost. But that's with NEO. You know, like if you want to do it for Sundial, you got to make sure you have like $50. All right. You know, I do 10 lots of Sundial almost every week. You know, sell a put for Sundial for 10 lots. Somebody gives me $70, $100, whatever the case may be. If I win, sweet. I keep 70 to $100. If I lose, then I have to buy 100 or 1,000 shares of Sundial. Well, right now, I think it's up to like $2 or something like that. When I started doing it, it was at like 50 cents, right? And I've only had to maybe 2 or 3 times buy the shares. Otherwise, people are just giving me, you know, $7 a share times, or 70 cents a share times 100, so $70. Like I said, it's $70. If that's all you do in a day, you make $70 a day. 70 times 250. I guess technically it's $70 a week, but you can do it. You can do it intelligently enough with enough other companies to where you make it seem like you're doing it every day, or at least every other day. But hell, I mean, if you think about it, even if you only make $100 a week, it's $5,200 extra dollars a year. That's a bonus for a lot of people. That's not little money. You know, that's significant. And when it's that easy, it blows my mind. Why is everybody not doing it? All right. Well, I'm going to get off my soapbox, but yeah, selling puts, easy way to make money. Selling calls, whoo, man, that's a great way to make a hell of a lot of money too. But let me tell you, you can lose a crap ton, a lot more risk in my opinion. I've only done it a couple times, made a butt ton on premium. I mean, wow, made a butt ton on premium. And then I had to sell a whole bunch of shares for very, very, very cheap. And it hurt. It hurt watching me give my profit to somebody else. So I typically stay away from that. I don't want to do that anymore. So, okay. All right, let's move on. We're going to get into a few analysis. One is on what I said before, nano dimensions, and the other one's on BNGO. Both companies are being invested quite heavily by ARK. If you don't know what I'm talking about, ARK, and it's ARKK, ARKQ, ARKF, ARK, virtually any other letter in the alphabet. Do your research, take a look at them. They are ETFs. If you don't know what an ETF is, watch my first video. My first video talks about all those definitions and everything of things that, you know, common phrases. But an ETF basically is just a culmination of different companies all in one, and you can invest in that ETF. All right, I do it with RK all the time. I've got shares and I've got call options. They're great. They deal with Tesla, Roku, SPY, QS, things like that. Maybe not QS. I misspoke there. But regardless, take a look at them. If you're interested in that field, they got them for innovation, technology, and food, and space travel. Like, who knows? You can find ETFs for virtually anything. They're good to have because they make things a little bit more diverse, taking away a little bit of risk, right? If I put 1,000 shares into Tesla, I'm at the mercy of what Tesla does. If I take that same amount of money and I put it into ARK, then only 10% is based on what Tesla does, and then like 7% in Roku and 6% in SPY and this and that and everything. So do your research, see which one you like, and highly recommend it. Again, as I always say, I'm no financial expert. I do this for fun. I do this to share knowledge about option trading and shares in the stock market, do some trend analysis to maybe give you ideas of things to be looking at. But I am not no expert. And, but man, I felt like an expert yesterday. Whew. Actually, I felt like an expert 2 weeks before that when I predicted what damn near exact what the price was going to be. I felt like I was way back in 2018 saying Tesla's going to go up to $7,000. Everybody looks at you like you're an idiot. And now look where Tesla is. All right, millionaires are made. All right, so Nano Dimension. Here's the day view, looking back all the way back to March of 2018. So we got a few years. Started off pretty high. Yeah. $33, $24, and you look at where it is now, $9.30. But this is always in the news. All right, this one's always in the financial news, especially as of late. I would say within the past 3 to 4 months, it's definitely making a rise, and this is one that I would expect to do well in the short future. Do well in the long future, meaning out greater than a year, all the way out to 5 years. I will have shares of this. I will have call options on a regular basis with this. I'm pretty bullish. I expect to see great things, and I definitely expect that we will start seeing us break these previous highs over the next year. All right. Is it going to be something that happens fast? No, I don't think so. But I think over the next 6 months, we might see it up in the 20, the mid 20s, and maybe even higher. But ultimately, I mean, it looks good. All right. We had some pretty crazy vertical action right here, nearly going from 88 cents all the way up to $4. I mean, you can't beat a 400% rise. And then you had this long period of consolidation. Consolidated, waiting for some sort of stimulus. We got that stimulus a few months ago in late September. And ever since then, it's just been on the up and up. Nano Dimensions, I got into around here at this $2.75 mark, specifically around this candle. Make this look a little bit bigger. So specifically in this candle right here, got into it right around 275, maybe a little bit more, 280. And then I've been riding this train, not with shares, but with call options. Ultimately better, I guess, because you're always dealing with 100 shares. Tax-wise, it's not as good, but what it is. It's pretty vertical right now. It's definitely got a high angle rise, but like most good companies that have promising stocks, you have the same trend, right? You've got a rise, consolidation, rise, consolidation, rise, consolidation, rise, consolidation, rise, consolidation, rise, consolidation, rise, consolidation. I'll give you one guess of what's going to happen. That's right. Rise and consolidation, rise and consolidation. Some people call me a genius because I can predict things like NEO going to 66.96. It's not genius. It's I take this current trend and I put it in another line, and I say, okay, based on this current trend, as long as it doesn't come out that the CEO decides to go and like mass murder people or anything like that. You know, as long as there's no negative news and everything remains honky-dory, the volume's pretty much going to stay the same. And, you know, obviously there's going to be some fluctuations. It's not going to be 100% accurate, but I can get a fairly decent trend, and I can definitely come up with a range, right? And that's all the analysts are doing for companies down in the future. You know, PLTR, for example, has a forecast that's like from $200 to $450 by 2025. All right, some people are like, well, it's such a huge range. Sure it is. Sure, you're right, it is. But 14 major analysts, respectable, have been doing this for a long time, all come out with this range anywhere from 200 to 450. And I say, what if it's 200? Well, it's like $40 now. 200 minus 40 is 160. Times 100 is 16,000. I can take something that's probably going to cost me about $1,000 to get into and turn that into $16,000 over the course of 5 years. That's pretty good. 16 times my money. And, you know, I'm not going to do it for $1,000. I'm going to do it for 10 lots. I'm going to do it for $10,000. I'm going to walk away with 160 grand. And then I'm going to buy a nice house, you know? That's going to be my down payment on my $2 million home that I'm going to buy. You know, that's why I do it. Make money. Make money. Okay, so nano dimensions. Here we go. Let's dive in a little bit more deeper now. Let's take this to the next level. I'm going to go. So the MACD is really high. Right. Looking at the MACD, definitely overbought. I would expect it to probably stay up here. It's going to, you know, stay up, and then eventually die down over the course of some amount of time. Like, it's not going to just keep on going on this, you know, perfectly, you know, Y equals MX plus B trend line and never stop. There's going to be some fluctuations. There's going to be some news that makes it go up. There's going to be some news that makes it go down, whatever the case may be. But we're just looking for the relatively not so distant future, maybe out a couple months. All right, so what are we looking at? Let's throw one of my favorite things, a Fibonacci retracement. All right, and we're looking for a low and a high. So we could use this one. I don't really like that one though. You know, I'm going to use this one because if you look, can almost use this one or this one because this whole thing right here is kind of like a channel consolidation. It's basically moving from left to right over the course of about a month, a little less than a month, maybe like 3 weeks. It's just moving left to right. So there's hardly any movement in the upward direction. All right, it came up, went down, came up to the same value, went down to the same value, came up. Probably going to come down to the same value, maybe do that for a week before eventually breaking up. But ultimately, let's do this. Before we put the Fibonacci line, we'll just do a trend line, and we'll take it, you know, damn. I think this is more realistic. I want to go here. I really want to go here. You know, I could go both and make a channel. That might be the right answer. Let's take this out to, middle of February. Why not? So we'll go right here just to be able to keep it on the same page. Let's go and throw another one. We'll go from the same part. And here, we don't need to go that far. Yeah, look at that. It almost covers 1, 2, 3, 4. So maybe we got like a divergent spread. Maybe we're going to see a lot of volatility in this, which would be awesome in my opinion. I don't think that's going to be the case, but maybe we do. All right, if we do that, if we start seeing that, what are we going to do? We're going to take advantage of that a lot. The only reason I don't think that's going to happen is because we don't see this one come up. We don't see this one come up, right? We start seeing this left to right consolidation, not consolidation like this. This would be awesome if we saw this. Why? Because we sell, buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, and then when we have like 100 grand in our pocket, we go and party like rock stars. But we don't have that right now. We have some left to right consolidation. So actually, let's do a vertical, or I'm sorry, a horizontal line. Probably, we'll just throw it in here. Again, doesn't have to be 100% accurate, especially on the day view. Got a couple different lines of support we can use, right? We got one down here, a little one down here, one here, but we're going to try to keep it as low as possible. We're going to say this one's right in there, right about in there. So what do I expect to see? Well, like I said, I don't think it's consolidating between this divergent channel. I think it's more consolidating between these two lines. So what we're looking for is either break through the line of resistance to not all-time highs, but we'll say recent highs, because the previous highs were all the way back before 2019. So it's been a while. It's been a hot minute, right? So I would say not all-time highs, but recent highs. So what we're looking for is breakthrough. We had a little bit here, but it didn't close above the line of resistance. So we're looking for some pretty steady activity, specifically 2 candles, not necessarily in the day view, but we're looking for 2 candles that stay above that line of resistance and start making a break in the upward direction. Once we have that, boom, that's a great place to buy if you're not already in it. And even getting into a call option at the time would be appropriate. Expect to see a little bit more consolidation, and you might have 2 lines here of, I mean, if you think about it, you have a couple lines of support, right? You have this line of support where it's consolidating back and forth. You have this line of support as it's moving upward. You also have the lines of support from the 9 and the 20-day moving averages, right? I would expect everything to stay above all of those, right? So I don't expect to see it move too far to the right here. It'll start peaking up. It might come down. It went up here, might come back down and not quite hit all the way down to this 793 mark. It might hit somewhere around 849 and then pop back up here and then maybe a little bit and start giving you like this bull flag, and then boom, pop up and then come back up. All right. All right, so that's the day view. Kind of bored with that. Let's move to the 4-hour, take a look at what that looks like. Yeah, about the same amount of information that we got before. Not seeing anything else out of the ordinary. I guess what we could do, like I said, I was going to do before, could throw a Fibonacci retracement and basically follow one of these lines. I'm going to actually take the median. I'm going to go, probably not necessarily the most accurate, might actually be a little bit inappropriate of a point. I'm kind of being pretty general, right? Because this is all consolidation left and right. I should probably be going from here to get accurate values, but I'm not going to because I'm a rebel. But we're going to go from there to there and just see what that gives us. Really, I just see a couple more lines of support that it gives. We got a line of support here at 835. So I might see a little bit more consolidation. Maybe not so much here at the 793, but maybe it comes, you see a little bit of consolidation here by the 834. So it drops down to 834 and comes back up. And you start seeing a bull flag being made this way instead, right? And then even possibly after that. So it might drop down here. So you got these red flags, red candlesticks here. It might drop down to this 834 mark, and then go up. Oh shit. And then you might see it come back up to that 982, just to come back down to, why is it doing that? Stupid. I want that one. Just to actually come back up to the 926 and then finally consolidate here. So what do you have? You got like the higher lows and the same highs. So still a bull flag, and then eventually somewhere around, probably the end of this week, around here, maybe a little after, breakthrough. I don't think it's going to be that long, actually. I think it's probably on 14th. Yeah, probably around the 14th. You start seeing it break these, consistently break through this line of resistance up past $10 and moving into the $11 mark, 1164, and so on and so forth before it starts consolidating. It's probably going to go up again, and that's kind of a good indication right here. Like there's interest above 10, right? There's definitely interest above this line because it's already been above there, right? So I would expect it to come up, maybe hit that 1041 and just start building and creating a line of resistance, and eventually pop over the line of resistance, and that line of resistance now becomes a line of support, right? And then it starts bouncing back and down off that line of support just to break through $12, do some consolidation, pop back up to 14, consolidation, so on and so forth. So definitely looks promising. Looks like a good solid trend in the upward direction. I like it. Based on the 1 hour, this line doesn't make any sense at all. In fact, I'm gonna get rid of you. Too much. Yeah, same concept. That being an even $10, whole numbers definitely make for natural lines of resistance and lines of support. So that's probably right at $10. That $10 mark. You can look at the bottom one, $8 probably. So 8 and 10 consolidating, and then eventually it'll hit that. It'll stay above that 9 and 20-day moving average. It'll keep within that channel. Tell you what, let's do a. We're going to do a Fibonacci trend real quick, just to see if we can't see when to expect here, when to expect a few things. Yeah, so I would January 26th. I think it's going to be definitely over $10 on January 26th, right? You take this guy, extend it out somewhere in there. Somewhere between $10 and what is that line? 11.75. So I think NNDM So like I said in previous videos, I always look at call options just past a week past when you actually are looking, right? So we're looking around the 25th. So I want to go one past that. Well, the only one available for NNDM is February 19th. So we're looking for call options that around the 27th are going to be above $10. All right, so you have February 19th. Here's a good one, a $5 strike, a break even of 9.45. Right, so current share price is 9.18, which means it has to go up. What did I say? 9.45 minus 18, so it has to go up, 30 cents or so. And it costs $445 to get into this. So for $450, you get a break even of 9.45. And that's all the way out to February 19th. Now, if this is accurate, this is February 19th over here, right? We're looking at values at the very least of around 13 bucks, all right? We're not talking about 10 bucks. So that right there is a $350 to $400 rise. I said this cost $450. You're almost making 100% if you let it go all the way to February 19th. So it looks pretty promising in my opinion, at least on the 1 hour. Let's move this real quick. Just do a quick 30-minute, and then we'll do a quick 5-minute. Yep. Okay. It's a little bit lower. I should say we're really a little bit more accurate. Yeah, I still concur with everything that I said before. Down to the 5-minute. Yep. Interesting thing. It looks like we actually have a little bit of a line of support developing here as well, which is even better sign. That just means it might not consolidate all the way down. So if you're not looking at like day trading and want that very extended line of volatility, and you're looking more at the swing options, this is going to be better because it has a less chance of dropping below now 878 because you are building that additional line of support. So $1, less than $1 drop. So that's pretty good. So I would not expect to see it drop anytime soon, less than 878, at least over the end of the next week. Looking towards the end of the week at popping above the $10 mark. Good option, I think. February 19th, the call option with a strike price of $5 is a great way to go, and I will probably do that. since I have a little bit of extra buying power, I will definitely get into that. For 10 lots, it'll cost me $5,000, and I'm looking to make about $3,000 on top of that. So about a 60% rise, which is not bad at all. You know, spend $5,000 to make $8,000. I'll take that any day of the week. You know, anytime that you can make $3,000 in a week, it's phenomenal. And that's just on this one. That's not the only one I'm going to do. All right, how much time have we spent on this video? I don't know. 45 minutes already. So we're going to do a quick BINGO bingo. Bio, nano, genomics. All right. Again, Catherine Wood, take a look at her. Do the research. What a brain for finance that she has. I mean, the absolutely incredible woman. She's the one that estimated that Tesla would be at $7,000 by now. So did a huge investment back in 2018, and man, was she right. Okay, so this is a big one that I've been hearing a lot of people talk about. A lot of people are saying BNGO, let's get into BNGO. Man, be careful. Be careful. First of all, look at the prior to 2019 highs of $10, but look how much it's gone down. We had a little bit of some sort of news probably popped here. We got excited, but it just died, right? In previous videos, I've talked about that parabolic rise, and you get into that parabola shape. But this is past parabolic. This is vertical, right? Verticals, so it's difficult. Like, is it too late to get into? Is it, when should I get out of it? Am I in it for the long run? Blah, blah, blah. There's so many questions. And I just look at this, just out of nowhere volume, right? Why? Because it makes it in the news a little bit that, ARK is investing so much money and blah, 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 this, that, and every other thing. But just be careful. Could this explode and go back up to $10? Yeah, absolutely. Hell, that's why I plan on. Well, one, that's why I'm in it right now. I will tell you, I don't have that much invested. Actually, I have very little invested. But I wanted to get into it, just I guess for gits and shiggles. But in fact, I have 100 shares. Right, it's at 567. I've got 100 shares, and I have no call options. So quite literally, a fraction of my investments, a small, minute fraction of my investments are in BNGO, 100 shares. I specifically got into it for 100 shares initially, just to be able to do covered stuff. Right, throw a sell put on there and make $100 a day, $100 a week just on that. Right? But also got into it intentionally for the potential that it could rise. Turning $500 into $1,000 if it goes up to $10. Again, $1,000. It's a significant amount of money, right? And I also have every intention to get into this with some call options over the not too distant future. I mean, I do expect to see it rise. It's got all the indicators that it should continue to rise up a little bit. It is in the news. It's got some popularity. So why not? But a couple things that I'm scared of. I'm scared of this gap. All right. Fully expect that it'll come down at some point. Now, you say, oh, why are you scared of that gap? That gap's between $3.50 and $4. Well, I'm scared if it gets up to $10, and then when's it going to come back down to fill that gap if it does, right? Maybe it never does, but that gap's always going to be there, and until it actually comes back down to fill that gap, it's always going to be something on my mind. It came up pretty quick, and then there's some consolidation, and maybe it comes up pretty quick again, and maybe it does that 3 times, make a parabolic shape, and then skyrockets to 100%, and like everybody's like, yeah, and then you get that poor soul that's like, I want to be involved, and gets in when it's like at the $10 mark, and then all of a sudden it drops down to fill that gap, and that poor sucker just lost, his house, his home, because he invested so much, and he bought it at the peak, and then he sold it at the bottom, and now he's like, I've lost everything that I have, and then he hangs himself. That's went dark real quick, but man, this shit happens, right? So what am I getting at? Well, just take this in small chunks. In my opinion, again, you can do whatever the frig you want, but I am just taking bites out of this. I'm taking small chunks and watching what it does. If it starts to get too crazy, I'll just pull out. Right? I don't have that much invested in it, but I have enough that if it does do something crazy in the upward direction, I'll make a little bit of money, and then I can just take my profits and run. A stock like this, I am going to keep my my trailing stop loss very minimal. NEO, I got a trailing stop loss at 15%, right? PLTR, I got a trailing stop loss of 15%. Tesla, I don't even keep a trailing stop loss. Some people think I'm crazy because of that, but if you do, I mean, Tesla could drop 15% tomorrow and then be up 25% the next day. So, it's just one of those ones. I'm not too worried about what Tesla does. I also don't invest heavily into Tesla, but I do in ARK. So, but for this one, what am I going to keep my trailing stop loss at? Probably like 5%. Maybe if it starts to look a little bit less risque, I might go to 7.5%. And then if it keeps on getting less and less risky, I might move to 10%. But right now, it's at 5%. I'm going to take every profit that I can and run. I'm not going to stick in with this if the cards don't play out. But I'll play with it. I'm going to, like I said, I got 100 shares, and when Thursday comes around, I'll sell a put. Why not? Free money. And then I'll probably do a call option. Let's take a look at what the call options are available. Bionanogenomics does not offer options right now. So I got to play. So what am I going to do now? It changes the game a little bit. Options aren't available, so I'm going to day trade this. All right, I'm going to day trade this. I'm going to sell at the highs and buy at the lows. I'm going to look at the 9-day moving average. I'm going to look at the 20-day moving average. I'm going to look at the volume, and I'm going to make determinations based on that. And I'm definitely not going to be looking at the day view because I don't get a whole lot of information from that if I'm going to day trade. So let's take a look at the 30-minute view. Almost running on an hour for this video. I don't want to bore you guys to death too much, but you could have stopped watching a long time ago. So if you're still with me, God bless you. This view, I'm happy. I'm happy with this. I'll get into this, and hopefully what I see, first off, I got this beautiful bull flag developing right here. And it already looks like it's broke through, so it'd be a great place for me to go in. I'll probably go in and probably buy about 1,000 shares. I'm in it for only 100 right now. I'll get in. Give me 1 second. All right, so I did something crazy, just not really crazy. I got market buy for 1,000 shares. So when the market opens, I buy 1,000 shares of this, and we'll see where it goes. So, and why did I do that? Why did I do that? The MACD is high, and you're right on the moving averages, and the moving averages are crossing, and you know what? Why? Because I'm a gangster, and I'm going to watch this, and I'm going to make really good decisions because I'm really smart. So bull flag, it's popped through. I expect to see, it very well could go down first. Even after I buy in for 1,000 shares, might not be the right choice right away because it could consolidate first. But I see this one coming up to the $6 mark. So it'll probably go around here in the pre-market, but I fully expect it to start going up at the $6 mark. And that's when I'll take this 30-minute and I'll move it to the 1 minute, and I'll just sit here over and over, just watch what it does. And when it hits certain values, that's when I'll sell it. When it hits other values, that's when I'll buy it. And I'll slowly make money, a little bit at a time. How do you become a millionaire? Same way you eat an elephant, right? A bite at a time. Or you just quickly invest into NEO for a butt ton up front and wait a couple months and they give you $1 million. It's a pretty good deal. So I'll just watch this, watch my indicators, be smart, don't take any silly chances, walk away with my profits, sell high, buy low, sell high, buy low, and watch this over time. Be careful with nanogenomics. It'd be a lot better if I had trade options available to me. I'm not big and heavy into the day trading, but every once in a while you got to do something different, and that'll be a little bit different for me. So I'll do that. I'll watch it and see how it goes. So, all right, that's about all I have for today. It's 56 minutes and 45 seconds right now, so I'll try to end this for an hour. If you enjoyed the show, please subscribe, like, share, tell everybody about it. I don't care what you do. I also got some stuff down there for Webull and Robinhood. If you wanted to use my link, cool. I'll get some stuff. I don't really care about that though. If you want to use it, use it. If you don't have if you're just watching my videos to learn some stuff and you want to get into it, hey, there's a link. Use it. If you want to use your buddies because your buddy is your buddy, then go ahead. I don't care. It's just there for you. It gives you a starting point. But by all means, do your own research. I'm not a financial expert. I do this for fun. I do this to teach people and train people. And here in a couple of years, I'll be retired and I'll be doing this as my day job, we'll call it. And I'll really be just doing it for fun, for extra money, and to buy my beautiful wife gifts like Chanel purses and diamond rings. All right, make your money later.